What up? It's Jack, aka Justice Hunt here, and today I wanted to talk about what I believe to be the most dangerous UFC fighters currently in the UFC.
Have you ever been fingered by an MMA fighter before?
Finger?
Yeah.
Now, what does that mean, dangerous? To keep it in simple terms, basically means who has the highest finishing ability. When that person is in the fight, who has the most skills, who has the most likelihood, who has the power, who has the speed, who has the physicality to go in there and finish their opponent. Biggest criteria here is going to be competition, aka who are you finishing, who are you beating in this impressive manner. Number two is well-roundedness. Are you able to, finish on the feet with knockouts? Are you able to submit people? Are you able to, cut people up? Variety is important. And number three is time. Are you able to run in there, knock someone out and leave? Or does it take a little bit? So this one's a little bit different in the terms of, I do value if someone's able to get finishes at any point of the fight, but if you're able to go in there and just knock them out in the first round every single time, you will get some points in there. But nonetheless, moving on, let's get right into it. Starting off with Yuri Prohaska. Now, a lot of people have disrespected Yuri recently. Now, since the Jamal Hill win, he's gotten a little bit more credit, but he didn't have his best performances against Alex in either of those two fights. First fight, he did pretty good, don't get me wrong, and then kind of an early stoppage. And second fight, got dusted up. Seems to be the common trend where it'll be a very close first fight, and then the second fight, one of the guys that lost will just get fucking dominated. Nonetheless, Yuri Prohaska, bro. Fucking, what's the little retard that DJ trains? Wings, that dude? Bro, this is literally who he fights like. Yuri is very good in multiple aspects. He has first round knockouts, he has fifth round submissions, he has third round knockouts. He has, I don't want to say slowed down, just because most of that has come from the Alex fight, but he is someone that is, in terms of relentless offense, he's someone that no one is as dedicated as him. A lot of fighters, including fighters like Drickus, if they're just winning the fight, they seem somewhat content with just taking the decision. Second fight against Strickland, DDP was just winning the whole time, so he didn't really need a reason to force a takedown or force a knockout. Whereas with Yuri, it doesn't matter at any point of the fight, he is going guns a-blazing. Against Dominic Reyes, even after being rocked, it was an up kick, guillotined, he's still coming forward and going through the fire. Volkan Oezdemir, he got caught a couple times and eventually got the knockout in the first round, I'm pretty sure. Might have been the second, but I'm pretty sure it's the first. Against Glover Teixeira in a fight where he was incredibly aggressive on both ends, but not finding the same success. This is kind of what puts him up there as better than a lot of people in terms of finishing ability. His ability to keep that eye out and that his eyes open for the finish, and at the end of the fifth round, getting that submission over Glover Teixeira with the hooks not even, puts him above other people that you may want to put here, but this may be a little controversial. But for me, Yuri Prohaska, his ability to have submissions while not being a grappler, his knockout abilities, his raw offense, to me, the only thing that he's lacking is he's not doing it against amazing competition. So Jamal Hill, a very old Glover, Volkan Oezdemir at the end of his career, against someone who was in his prime and Alex was a striker, wasn't the same thing, but he still never stopped trying to get the finish. He just wasn't quite as effective, and he didn't have the raw grappling ability to kind of give him an edge in that area as well. But nonetheless, Yuri Prohaska, great shout, the fucking most marauder motherfucker you ever see. Moving on though, Islam Makhachev. Some people are going to be mad that he's too low, other people are going to be mad that he's not number one, but here's my reasons why. Islam is the most well-rounded, skilled fighter in the UFC, period. In terms of having the most ability anywhere the fight goes, I don't think anyone is quite as good as Islam. Some people get close, like a Magomed Ankalaev, but I don't think he has the submission ability or the finishing ability on the ground, or even just the overall grappling. I think someone like DDP kind of misses out on he's not accurate enough, he's not as precise as I want him to be, and he's very sloppy, so he kind of doesn't have the precision it takes to really be one of the best, most dangerous fighters. He's much more of a I don't want to say a decision fighter because obviously he gets a lot of submissions, but it's much more of like an onslaught of offense and eventually forcing him to give something up. But for Islam, he is technically, in terms of someone that can win any position, be in the right place to set up technical knockouts, no one's really better than Islam at that. Even other people above him on this list. What he is missing though is raw power. He doesn't have a whole lot of firepower. He definitely hits hard, don't get me wrong. But he's not someone like an Ilya. He's not someone like a Francis. He's not someone that if he hits you with one hand, you're going out cold. He just has knockdown power, I'd call it. The ability, if he hits you with a good shot, he's going to drop you. Even against Volkanovski, he hit a perfect head kick. Like, Volk didn't stop it at all. It hit the top of his head, and he got wobbled and dropped. A lot of other fighters would probably just knocked out him cold there. I don't want to say that he's weak or anything, but that's kind of one thing that he's missing. In addition to that, he is very good on the feet against certain styles. Like against Oliveira, when he makes a big mistake, he's able to drop him. Against Volk, who is a big frame advantage, and he has kicks to point out a hole in one of Volk's game. Against someone that's more well-rounded, like a Poirier, or even like a Moicano, he doesn't have the same ability on the feet to really get what he wants. Don't get me wrong, he did kind of stumble Poirier a little bit, landed good shots, but it never felt like Poirier was just out of there like what Max Holloway did. So for Islam, his ability on the feet is incredible, but it's not the thing that's carried. It's more so the overall tool set. In addition to his ground and pound, his finishing ability against Bobby Green, when he gets a dominant position, he's able to get a TKO, but he's also able to latch up submissions. Really, his ability to just latch up a fucking Darce is kind of what gives him so much ability here. I think against JDM, he could be losing the whole fight, but if JDM fucks up one scramble, he's going to Darce him instantly. That's just how good he can latch up submissions and how good he can get a dominant position. Even against Dustin, his ability to... It's not like he just like threw up a flying triangle or flying armbar or just jumped on him. He very technically did I'm pretty sure it's called a golf swing takedown into a guillotine, transfers Darce, just position to position. That danger that it's only surpassed by a handful of people. And in terms of grappling, I think it's really him and Hamza who are just so dangerous to the point that the floor is lava. Nonetheless, so moving on to his arch nemesis, Ilia Topuria. Now, for what? These guys are actually very interchangeable. You can even argue Islam is more dangerous than Ilia, as Ilia, I would say Islam's striking is better than Ilya's grappling. I would say that's, it's debatable, and it's oranges and apples. It's kind of hard to compare, but Ilya is someone that I don't really see him, even in the early starts of his career with very grappling focus, as someone that really takes someone down and chokes him out. Against someone like Bryce Mitchell, he mostly had to rock him, he hurt him, he took advantage of Bryce Mitchell being compromised and then got latched up a nasty submission. I'm not here to say that Ilya is overrated. He's incredibly good grappler. I think he can submit a lot of people. I think he can submit like a Gaethje, a Poirier. I can even see him beating like these good positions on Arman, but really what carries him is that fucking right hand, bro. Not even that right hand, everywhere. His boxing is really exemplifies there's a lot of times in MMA where there's a guy and he's spoken about to have this unholy power. He gets in there, he's gonna beat you up like he owes him money, man. He's like Arkham Batman, bro. He's gonna fucking spin around, spinning 360 kick, Michelle Pereira, Paulo Costa, Oliveira, these guys are gonna come in there and they're gonna beat you up, Khalil Roundtree. But they're always inconsistent. These high offense, go for the finish fighters, Paulo Costa, they get figured out. Oliveira, they have holes in their game. Michelle Pereira, they gas out or they just don't have that. It's a lot more showmanship. It's a lot more aura, a lot of aura merchants. Ilya is one of the only aura merchants that actually genuinely this guy has the perfect mixture of power and precision. Conor McGregor didn't have this. No other striker has this. Ilya is someone that I'm convinced that if he lands the right shot on your chin, which he can do at least once in a fight, he is basically either getting the finish right there or he's about to get the finish. Ilya is really that dude in terms of, I think this guy would flatline John Jones. I don't know how the fuck he'd do it, but somehow he'd land the right overhand, the right body shot to it to get that knockout. So for what he lacks in versatility compared to someone like Islam, I think he makes up for with that being a bonus to the raw fucking firepower this man possesses. Moving on though, Khamzat Chimaev. I'm not gonna let everyone's acting like Khamzat just like, bro, we couldn't submit Kamaru Usman or Gilbert Burns. So fucking what? Against Burns, he kind of chose not to. Kind of took the pass release resistance. And maybe if he wanted to get that ground and pound, maybe he did. Against Usman, same thing. He decided not to go for ground and pound when I think he could have. Khamzat Chimaev, there is nobody as terrifying in the first round as Khamzat in the history of the UFC. You know, people talk about Conor being scary in that first round, but you know, he didn't finish everyone. He just kind of won the first round generally. Khamzat Chimaev genuinely makes people look like they've never trained a day in their goddamn life. People say Khabib passed down his legacy to Islam, which obviously is true to a decent extent. But in my opinion, the person that feels the most like Khabib, but an upgraded version, is Khamzat. Not to say Khamzat is better than Khabib, but in terms of how he beats people, his level of domination is somehow more than Khabib. Obviously, Khabib had other advantages. His striking's better, his defensive ability, his awareness is better, his cardio is better. But in terms of just being the Mike Tyson, there's obviously Ilya, but in terms of just who has that same aura that I imagine Mike Tyson have, I say as a 20-year-old, as someone who's never watched a Mike Tyson fight besides fucking when he fought Jake Paul, Khamzat is what I imagine Mike Tyson felt like. That when this person, it doesn't matter who he's against, could be anyone on the planet, you put him in the octagon, as soon as that thing shows, you know he's going to run across after you, take you down, and basically either choke you out or get it pretty damn close. Khamzat Chimaev is fucking terrifying. He just, and even on the feet, for what he lacks in skill, let's not act like this motherfucker hasn't flatlined Ikram Aliskerov, hasn't flatlined Gerald Meerschaert, hasn't dropped Gilbert Burns. Let's not act like he doesn't have that in his hands, that against the right opponent, he can be very dangerous on the feet as well. Nonetheless, so let's move on to number one. I don't think a lot of people are going to like this. I think a lot of people are going to ask, why is it Khamzat? Why is it Ilya? Why is it this? It's Tom Aspinall. Big Tom in the building. Look at that fucking neck. Jesus Christ. Look at those fucking traps. Holy shit. Look at Big Tom, bro. He's literally, his head is the side of his fucking neck. Jesus Christ. Nonetheless, though, Tom Aspinall, what do you want me to say? He's the shortest fight time in UFC history. He's fighting fucking heavyweights, and he's moving like a welterweight. He goes in there, he knocks you out or submits you. He can latch up submissions. Looking against Volkov, the second he touched the ground, he immediately choked him out. Arlovsky took him down, immediately choked him out. Now, was the competition as high? No. But I think for what... Now, if Khamzat didn't have those kind of iffy performances, if he didn't have the Usmans or the Burns, you could probably put him number one. But Aspinall hasn't had that. He's never had a... He's always going in there and just knocked you out in less than a round. It's just always happened. Obviously, he blew his knee in against Curtis Blades, but what do you want me to say? Now, his knockouts aren't as devastating as Ilya, and his submissions aren't as brutal as like an Islam or a Khamzat, and sometimes he's not as fucking wild as Yuri. But he's so... In terms of pure effectiveness, it feels like he does what needs to be done and nothing more. Against Marcin Tybura, landing the elbow, 1-2, couple ground and pound, called it a day. Curtis Blades landed the jab, dropped him, just sat him, land ground and pound. None of these are so horrifying. No one really looked at Tom Aspinall's like fights and be like, oh my god, bro, that's so fucking brutal. So maybe Sergey Pavlovich fight. He just fucked up Sergey Pavlovich. But he feels like he just lands just the perfect amount of power. It feels like he's a gentleman, even when he's flatlining you up cold, like, oh my bad, mate. Let me hit you with a right hand here, ground and pound, call it a day. He feels like he just does the absolute perfect amount to put people away, can choke you out, has wrestling, is big, is fast, is powerful. I think Tom Aspinall, I'm going to give him that extra credit in terms of never having a moment where he felt like he couldn't deal with his opponent, and also the time he does it. Doing it in the shortest fight time in UFC history while being the champion with a title defense. Like, this isn't just like Khamzat, whose first three fight, his opponent didn't land a significant strike. He's had like 10 UFC fights doing this. Nonetheless, so hope you guys enjoyed. There's a couple guys you can put on this list. Some people might be bad, like Drickerson here, like Pantoja, or a couple guys here. I think these guys are the best or most dangerous fighters. There's some people you can switch out for Yuri most likely, but I want to give Yuri the credit in terms of DDP has gone to decisions, and DDP just doesn't seem like he's the most skilled finisher, so it's kind of what held him back here, where I feel like these guys, I don't want to just say people who are marauders. This isn't a marauder list. This is a who is the most dangerous, who is most likely to finish you list. And I feel like these guys are some good picks. Nonetheless, though, if you guys disagree, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know who you guys would switch out, though. Yeah, have a good one.